friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Nancy, and this is my, I believe it's my 5th video in the November Notions and Needlework journal project that I'm working on. Having a ton of fun, because this is sort of where I feel comfortable, is working with thread and fabrics, and I hope you're enjoying it. So today I want to create a pocket for the journal, or the journal to be. It's just empty guts right now, or no guts. So we'll just set that aside. The pocket, I want to use this pattern from the website All People Quilt. This is free. You can download it for your personal use. And I'm going to use scraps of fabric to create a little 6-inch block. There's 2 more pages of instructions. I decided I don't need instructions. So what I've done is trace the pattern pieces onto heat and bond. So this has got like a glue. I traced the patterns on, glued them to the back of scraps of fabric, and then I will carefully cut out each shape, peel off that paper, and then assemble the pieces onto this background. I might not use this background. I might use purple. Well, we'll just have to take a look and see what that looks like. And then once I have the pieces cut out, the paper peeled off, I will use a hot iron to adhere the pieces down to the fabric, the background fabric. And then I'll go around with some embroidery thread just to do some stitching around the edges to finish it off. So the paper just peels off, and then you can see the shiny glue. I hope you can see the shiny glue. And I'll follow with the pattern, the placement diagram that's up in the top corner, to do the final placement. The overall finish of the block is 6 inches. That's, when you take off a 1/4 inch all the way around. And my pages for my journal happen to be 6 inches, so that's perfect. If your pages are smaller, you might want to reduce the size of the print by try 80% or 85%, and hopefully that will give you the size that you need. These are very, very simple shapes. Nothing too difficult. I sort of toyed with the idea of, instead of doing fabric for the centers of the flowers, I would use buttons. I still haven't committed to fabric, but I'm thinking less bulk, because the thing I made yesterday was super bulky. I think you get the idea of how this works. So I will just carry on here, decide whether I'm going to go with the purple background or not, and come back and start showing you the initial embroidery steps. start by, oh, I didn't put a knot in it, and that was for a reason. So I used a long piece of embroidery floss, and then at the bottom folded it in half so that I could do a simple little trick like that. And I'm just gonna do a few stitches. I thought about doing blanket stitches, but I decided well, I might do blanket stitches on the flowers. I don't know, but I just thought some ordinary stitches along the edge of the leaf would be a good way to start. And this is going to be a project for video watching on my couch in just a few hours maybe. But I wanted to get a start here to show you. Come on, you. Not a great position for me to be stitching because I can't see what I'm doing. I'm sure you know my pain. Okay, I'm going to continue with this, and when I come back, I'll show you the completed project. The embroidery is done. I'm going to turn this over, and what I want to do is add a piece of paper. Oh, I cut it wrong. Well, heck. I did not cut it wrong. I measured it wrong. I measured this to be 6 inches. I've measured this to be 5 3/4 inches square, so slightly narrower than what was intended. Just because I want it to go onto the page a little easier. So I'm just going to put a little glue where we've already got layers of fabric. I don't want to put it where there's no fabric. Now the ink, again, it's from the friction pen, so I'm not worried about that. I can cut a little of this off, and I think I will, just to reduce some bulk. Oh, let's make it 3/8. Cut off some of these corners. Not sure why he's slamming around up there. Just went out and got a few groceries. Maybe he's putting groceries away. once I have this all fastened down, I will run it under my sewing machine without any thread in order to make holes that are equally distant apart, and then I'll do a blanket stitch. I forgot to mention, I initially, when I started doing the embroidery, I said I wasn't going to do a blanket stitch. Well, then I went ahead and did blanket stitch, didn't I? Not sure why this doesn't want to stick down. Put a clip on it. All right. Now I will do the blanket stitch around the outside. And here we are finished. I changed my mind about doing the blanket stitch around the edge. I couldn't get the thread to really stand up neatly around the edge, so I just went with a simple running stitch. Anyway, so let's pretend this is a journal page, and it will just go right like that and act as a pocket. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you thought this was kind of a fun project, and it's maybe inspired you to get out some scraps of fabric and do a little quilt square. If you go on the All People Quilt website, there's lots and lots of different 6-inch blocks that could be modified to create a pocket in your journal. I was thinking I might do one that's paper pieced, so instead of an applique one that looks like a pieced quilt block. So take care of yourselves. Come back again soon. We'll have another project to go with the Notions and Needlework theme for this month. And yeah, take care of yourselves. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.